Welcome everybody. All right, so I am live on Instagram and Facebook. My name is Stephanie. Welcome to Zen Mondays. I do this weekly. Hi Lone, so good to see you. This is a weekly segment that I do called Zen Monday. So if this is your first time joining, welcome. I'm here live every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, and I'm really excited about today's Zen Mondays. Hello, Francesca. So good to see you. I've been MIA, admittedly, for about 2 weeks. I had family in town, and sometimes you gotta take a break. But what I will do next time, I'll let you guys know if I'm taking a little break, because I got a few messages saying, are you not doing this anymore? I'm like, no, I was just taking a little break. But welcome again. So let's get started right away. Today's Zen Mondays, I literally thought about this in the shower. I do like my little sticky showers. When I take a shower, I always get the best ideas. And this one came to me about 2 weeks ago. So today's Zen Monday is all about how do you up level, how do you grow, how do you evolve when you're going through a conflict or a challenging situation. So if you're joining, welcome. I'm live on both Facebook and Instagram, so in case you guys see me moving around. So a lot of times, or most of us in our lives are going to go through challenges and conflicts, and there's ebb and flow, and that just happens. I think the key to it all is how do you change your perception on situations? So you look at the situation, whether it's a conflict or a challenging situation, as an opportunity to grow, instead of thinking, this sucks, my life sucks, I'm not going to be able to get past this. So tonight I'm going to share with you guys 3 steps under each, whether a conflict, and I'll explain the difference, or a challenging situation, how to determine what's what, and then how to be able to grow and up level yourself. Because ultimately, what I say, and I hope you guys agree, is that life is all an evolution. So just like you don't have reactions like you did when you were a 2 or 3 year old, you used to have a tantrum because you didn't know how to express your emotions, maybe you didn't know how to talk. That's okay when you're, a little baby. But if you're a grown-ass adult, and that means anything above 14 years old, we should always evolve and grow as people. So this is like a beautiful segment. It's for you. If you're thinking about I want to continue my evolution as a person, as a human being, as a spiritual being, how do I do that when I go through challenging situations where all I want to do is punch somebody in the face and drink a whole bottle of wine? So yes, Francesca, you guys are getting it? Okay, good. So if you guys have any questions, just type it up. I'll have a little bit of Q&A at the end. I will also do a meditation, about a 5 to 6 minute meditation at the end. So stay tuned so you get the full effect of Zen Mondays. Okay, so let's get started. I want to start by sharing the difference between conflict and challenging situation. Because in essence, they're both the same. It's uncomfortable, but a conflict, in the way for today's Zen Mondays, it's like an internal, you're either having an internal or an external conflict with somebody. So there's something frustrating, aggravating about the situation with a particular person. Now, a challenging situation is when you have a confrontation. So you actually had a confrontation. Welcome to those who are joining in. You had a confrontation with a person or within an environment. So it's like you could be at work and you lost your marbles, or you could have been in the subway, ended up yelling at somebody, or got road rage. That's all a challenging situation. So again, tonight I'm going to share with you guys how you can evolve and up level your life when you're going through a conflict or a challenging situation. So let's begin with a conflict. So I'm going to share, as I was kind of wrapping my head about what I wanted to share with you guys, I wanted to incorporate a personal example, because I think it's so important. Sometimes we read books and we have these beautiful conflicts, or you listen to somebody and you're like, yeah, that makes sense, but how do I apply it to me? So I thought, you know what, let's be a little bit vulnerable, and I want to share with you, so the example I give with you guys tonight, it'll be something that I currently experiencing, because I am not at the end result of this. So it'll be fun and vulnerable, and I think healing all at the same time. So the conflict I want to share with you tonight is, I've been trying to eat, or the situation I'm in and how I'm trying to up level my life and kind of evolve through this situation. So for me is, I had family in town for about almost 10 days, my two little nieces that I love so much, but I completely overindulged in all food aspects. Like, they were here in New York, they're like, I don't know, 12 or 13, 15 and 17 teenagers, and I overindulged like all kinds of things every day, Shake Shack as a snack. Anyways, I won't get into it. They've been gone for a few days, and I feel super kind of like, bleh, you know? My energy is definitely low, and I feel like I haven't been able to get back on track. So my current situation is like, okay, why am I finding difficult getting back on track to my healthy habits, which I know give me more energy, make me feel better, and I just feel like sexier and better in my body. So why not do that? So that will be the example for tonight. So first things first, think of a situation you're going through right now that you feel you are like it's draining you. So I just shared with you my situation, but it always helps if you can kind of like pinpoint something out. So you're going through a situation. This is my situation, Steph. So right away, you decide what it is, and then you first gonna kind of like break it down. Is it a conflict? Is it something internal with myself, or an external conflict that I have within me, like something within my control? Or is it a challenging situation, meaning something in my environment that constantly challenges me? So think of something right now. So I'll start with step number one. For me, it was a conflict because I feel like I'm not able to get back into my healthy habits. If you were thinking it in a challenging situation, it's I thought about like a work thing, which I don't work, I'm not in corporate, but something that a lot of people could relate to is in my office, there are always chips and snacks, and I can't seem to stop eating. So that's more like a challenging situation versus a conflict where I know that it's me that I can't get started. So step one, differentiate. Is it a conflict or is it a challenging situation? Once you differentiate between the two of us, step number two, so I'm going to give you steps now. If it's a conflict, right? So I'm going to give you 3 steps under conflicts on what to do and 3 steps under challenging situations. That way it's super clear. Are you guys with me? Is this good? Are we rock and rolling? I mean, this clearly gives me life because I am so excited. So let's go through the steps if you're going through a conflict. Step number one, you identify it's a conflict. So in that case, first thing is, who do I need to forgive? All right? Yes, Lone, thank you for your little smiley faces. So step number one, you're going through a conflict. Who do I need to forgive? Step number one. So for me, I've been eating I don't want to say unhealthy because I don't want to judge it. I've been overindulging the past 2 weeks. So who do I need to forgive? Because before forgiveness, there's going to be a lot of shame, a lot of insecurities, and a lot of frustration. So if you're experiencing a conflict, you're going to feel all those things, right? Because there's a conflict. You're like, I'm not doing good enough. I could be doing better. I'm not happy with this person. So there's a bunch of all of those emotions, and all of those emotions and that energy is very draining. So you have to think of forgiveness as the first step to release all that energy and give you momentum and create room in order for you to move forward. If I'm not like in this case, the first question is, who do I need to forgive? I need to forgive myself, all right? I've been a little trying, like a little harsh on myself. Like, who cares if I overindulge for like 2 weeks? All good, Steph. So you're gonna get back to it. You're already doing it. Maybe it won't be the very next day after my nieces left, but a few days later, I know I'm gonna get back into it. So already when I have that forgiveness with myself, I already clear so much energy because I was doing this today, and the past 4 days, they left 4 days ago, I hadn't forgiven myself. So the past 4 days, I was like full of guilt, like, I don't feel good, I'm tired, I'm lethargic, what's going on with my energy? Instead of being like, so what? You overdid it, forgive. So if you're going through a conflict, ask yourself, like, who do I need to forgive? Is it somebody else maybe? Somebody hurt your feelings? Can you forgive them? It doesn't mean you're letting them off the hook. That forgiveness is just a tool for you to be able to move forward. if you're resenting them, if you're angry, if you're frustrated, if you're holding on to shame, it's gonna be so much harder for you to work through this conflict, and most importantly, for you to evolve through this conflict that you're experiencing, okay? And then step number 2, so I'm gonna give you 4 steps. Step number 2 is, what do I need to heal? So this one can get a little bit trickier, because the first one, easy, who do I need to forgive? Myself, somebody else, check. The second one is, what do I need to heal? The reason why I say this is because when you're going through a conflict and it happens consistency in your life, it's because there is something within you that you haven't healed. There's a wound or something that, for me, the food, maybe the past 4 days, I overdid it, and the food was just making me feel better because I was working, I was being with my nieces, I was running around, which everything was awesome, but I felt like maybe my overindulgence was me thinking that I was overdoing it, or that I had to do everything. So sometimes thinking about or understanding what do I need to heal, it's a little bit trickier, because you might be having conversation with me, or maybe thinking right now, I don't need to heal anything. Like, what is she talking about? So the way to do that is, there is a beautiful tool that I always talk about, is writing a letter to your intuition. So if you go to my website under resources, you're gonna see letter to your intuition. You write a letter to your intuition, like the way I did it. It's like, hey, I've been, dear intuition, and I have it here, like, I've been eating a lot, I've been overindulging, what do I need to do in order to heal? Then I had this whole thing that came up, I'm not gonna share with you guys tonight, but maybe another time, that said, okay, I was eating not just because I was like, my nieces were here and I was having a good time, but there was something underneath that was driving me to eat all these foods. And I used the excuses of my nieces being here as, I'm gonna go wild, because they're here, I can indulge. It had nothing to do with them. So check out this letter to your intuition on my website. I actually share with you guys a letter that I wrote a few months ago. And when you say in step number 2, what do I need to heal? You're gonna get so much clarity on why are you continuing this behavior, in my case, overindulging, that I know it's not good for me. So far, so good? Okay, so step number 3. Once you figure out what is the root cause of your behavior that you're feeling in conflict, and again, for those of you that joining, I'm sharing with you how you can evolve and grow when you're going through a challenge. So if you're just joining in, that's the topic. So step number 3 is release and create an affirmation. So you figure out, who do you forgive? What do I heal? Step number 3 is, you know the root of your actions, then it's time to release and create an affirmation. So you've released it, you're like, okay, I'm aware, this is why I did it. How do I want to feel? What's this affirmation that it's going to allow me for me to get momentum and really cement this new way of being, in my case, eating healthy. So my affirmation is, I can trust myself to love myself when I'm angry. I honor my body and the foods I eat. Because the thing that happens is, step number 3, right? Let me tell you what the thing that happens in step number 4. Step number 4 happens and it's like, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna start eating healthy, whatever thing you wanna resolve. Tomorrow comes, you do it great. Then 3 days go by, you get stressed out and you go back and reach for, like, for me, it's like peanut butter or something delicious, right? So in that case, you want to create an affirmation that when you're feeling better and you've released and you've forgiven and you've let it go, you have an affirmation that you're going to do every single morning in order to cement those new beliefs and those new habits and whatever it is that you're creating. Because otherwise, the behavior continues. So right now you've cleared it out, you've forgiven, you release, blank slate, then you have your affirmation, and then you begin every day. Now, if you're going through a conflict, like for me, if I want to eat something and I'm stressed out, in my case, I say, okay, how am I going to feel when I eat this? Am I going to feel good or not? And then I say my affirmation. So those are 4 steps that you can do if you're going through a conflict in order to evolve and to grow. Because in this case, the way I grew as a person and I evolved is because I called myself out. And I knew that the eating part and indulging where my nieces were in town, it had nothing to do about my nieces. It was an unresolved issue that I had within myself. So now I can look back in the past 10 days of overindulging, and instead of beating myself up for being like, oh, you're such a fat ass, you ate all that stuff, it's like, no, Steph, you were nurturing yourself. You were loving yourself the best way that you knew how to love yourself. So it was like such a freaking mind blown. So those are the steps if you're going through an internal conflict. Now I'm gonna share with you, let me see, two steps if you're going through a challenging situation. So the way this changes, I share with you guys a little bit, the way the differentiation is a conflict is something external, something within yourself. It can be internal or external, but it's kind of like within, your side of the street. A challenging situation is when you have a confrontation due to like maybe something environmental or a group of people, maybe your coworkers or your family members. So it's like, how do you evolve and grow as a person when you're going through a challenging situation, which is slightly different than a conflict? So the example that I gave earlier, in case you're joining in, a challenging situation that you're going through, as an example, it might be like, my workplace is full of snacks, or my roommate is always buying unhealthy foods. I end up eating when I'm stressed, and then I feel like shit after. Like, how many people can relate to anything like that? Give me a little, I'd say raise your hand, but you guys can't raise your hands. Give me a little emoji or something if you can relate to this. I think there's a little bit of a time lag, so I'll continue, but let me know. Okay, Romina, which I love that you're joining. I have a dear friend joining all the way from Chile. That's just unbelievable. Lone, okay, you as well. So let's talk about challenging situations. And Dawn, okay, fantastic. So step number one, where you're going through a challenging situation, something that feels that it's out of your hands. It's an environment, it's something kind of like outside of you. Step number one, you're gonna ask yourself, what can I do to take my power back? So good, right? Okay, because when you're going through a challenging situation, we tend to feel really helpless. Like, well, in the case, an example that I gave you, well, I can't help if my workplace provides snacks. What am I not gonna eat? Okay, let's not be melodramatic, but we tell ourselves that. Or, well, my roommate buys all this food and I can't control myself. You can always control yourself. Are you really that much that you're gonna give all your power to a bag of chips? No, you're just choosing not to control yourself. Trust me, the bag of chips has nothing on you. So step number one, how do I take my power back? So in the very simple example of your workplace being full of snacks, here are some ways. When I'm stressed, can I go for a walk? So when I'm stressed, instead of reaching for the bag of whatever snacks, I'm gonna have some options. I call it like my emergency toolkit. You can put them on your phone. I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm also gonna start bringing healthy foods like maybe carrots or peanuts or almonds or cashews, something that's crunchy. Crunchy is very satisfying to the mind when we're going under stress, which is why chips are so comforting. So instead of eating chips, it's like, what other crunchy things that I know psychologically my brain is craving, like an apple maybe? So it's like, okay, I'm gonna bring, so how can I take my power back? I can go for a walk when I'm stressed. I can bring snacks to work and put them in my drawer, so next time I'm stressed, I'm gonna eat that. I could call a friend, so maybe through venting and calling a friend, that's like a way to release that stress and take my power back. So step number one, how can I take my power back? Step number two is asking yourself, how can I grow from this situation? So there's a beautiful book that I recently read and I highly recommend, and it's called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. And he says something similar. He says, when going through something difficult, ask yourself, what beautiful thing is trying to come out of this situation? So let's say in the example of the unhealthy snacks at work, it's like, oh yeah, Steph, let's not become all spiritual. Like, what could I be possibly, what is something beautiful that could be coming out of this? There's a bunch of beautiful things. Like maybe this is an opportunity for you to learn how to manage your stress better. So maybe now you're realizing like eating snacks is not really fulfilling and it's not a productive way to manage stress. This opportunity might be teaching you, how can I manage my stress better? Maybe it's a way to be like, how can I be healthier? How can I take control of my food where I make it more like I'm in control instead of allowing the environment to dictate how I eat. Let's see, a question. I always eat really bad when I'm stressed and anxious. It is impossible for me to control it. I hope this will work. Okay, I love that you share that, Romina. So the first thing I would say is shift the way you think about your situation. So the way I read it, and I'm going to put you as an example, so thank you for sharing, is I always eat really bad when I'm stressed and anxious. So you're already saying how you are, and you're not even really giving yourself an opportunity to change. So a way to change that is sometimes when I'm anxious, I eat bad. Or I am trying to eat healthy when I'm anxious. So already by shifting the way you're looking at things, you already feel better. I am learning how to eat healthy when I'm stressed. Instead of saying I always eat bad when I'm stressed. Because already you're not even giving yourself an opportunity to make a change, because you're already dictating the way you're already dictating your actions based on how you feel. No, you're able to completely change that. And then you say it is impossible for me to control it. So that's another beautiful way to change it and say it is possible for me to learn how to. So instead of saying it's impossible, if something is impossible, you don't even try. Because already mentally you're saying it's impossible. So now you have the opportunity to change it and say, it is possible for me to control it, or I am learning to control it. Every day is easier and easier for me to control how I eat when I'm stressed. So that would be like beautiful affirmations for you to start playing around with. So those are, yes, I love that you put I will change it, because that's a very definitive, like, I'm gonna do it, I am on it. Wonderful. I hope this helps. Keep me posted. Hi, Melody. Okay, so those are 2 steps that I share with you guys when you're going through a challenging situation. I know they may sound really simple, but I would ask you guys or challenge you guys to try these steps. Step number 1 is, what's something I could do to take my power back? So look at your situation in general. How could I take, for me, in the situation earlier about eating healthy, how could I take my power back? By start eating healthy. Right? Like, why am I making it so hard? Just start, right? And the second step is, how could I grow in this situation? So whatever challenging situation you're going through, you might be arguing with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or your husband. You might be in I don't know, not finding a hard time looking for a job. You know, it's like, what is something beautiful that could be coming out of the situation? Hey, maybe it's time to look for a new career. Maybe it's time to challenge yourself in a different way. Maybe it's not time for you to leave that job right then and there. So these are all ways that you can flip your perception. Remember, every coin has 2 sides, period. So if something is challenging, there's a solution or something positive on the other side. Before we meditate, does anybody have any questions? Because that's it. If you're joining in, if you missed anything, just go back to the beginning, and I share with you guys steps on how you can evolve and grow when you're experiencing either a conflict or a challenging situation. If you missed it somehow, I'm going to post this on my YouTube this week so you can catch it, watch it again, take some notes. Okay, it sounds to me like you guys, this made sense. I hope so. So before we meditate, I wanted to let you guys know, for those of you that know or may not know, but I have a membership that it's called the Spirit and Soul Connection, and I am accepting 5 new members this month. So this is, I would say, if I were to describe it, it's like your spiritual membership. You have your gym, you have your blow dry bars, but this is your spiritual wellness. This is a time for you to use to refill your own cup. So the way this membership works is you get a 60-minute spiritual private session with me, where we can either balance your energy chakras, you can ask for guidance with your angels, we can do a little bit of both. So we'll do that. You get access to me once a month for 60 minutes. And normally I charge $155 for that, but you're gonna get it for this membership price that I'm gonna share. And then you also get access to my New Moon Circle. So once a month, I host a New Moon Circle, which is a beautiful time to write your intentions, write your wishes. You're gonna meet amazing people that are in the same energy, like a spiritual community, and you get access to that. I charge $25 for that, and you will get free access. So this membership is month to month. You can cancel anytime. It's $88 a month. And if you're asking, all right, Steph, Why $88 and not 85 or 80 or 90? And I am super spiritual and I really believe in spiritual numbers, and 88 is the number for inner wisdom, for abundance, and for spiritual growth, which are all the beautiful things about this membership. So if you guys love this, or if you're interested, before we meditate or after we meditate, go check out more details. It's stephanievershow.com/spirit soul connection. So this is it. So let's get comfortable. Let me find a nice little song for you. And just begin to take a deep breath all the way in. Exhale all the way out. Let's take another deep breath. Inhale all the way in. And gently exhale all the way out. I want you to gently close your eyes and focus on that place right in between your eyebrows. Continue breathing, sinking deeper and deeper into your seat. Begin to feel your breath relaxing your body, your mind. Notice if you have any tension in your body, maybe on your chest, on your shoulders, your stomach, your head. Once you've pinpointed that area of tension, focus back on your breath and allow your breath to release that area of tension. With every inhale and exhale, you begin to feel that area more relaxed. That tension begins to gently disappear, and you continue to feel more relaxed and at ease with your body, your thoughts, and your emotions. Continue to gently breathe. And now that you've begun to feel relaxed and centered, grounded within yourself, gently visualize this beautiful ball of light just shining through right around where your heart is. This is a beautiful bright white light, and is shining all from the insides, all around your body. Visualize that light shooting from your heart all the way through your shoulders, your neck, all the way up your head, your ears, all through the top of your head and your crown chakra, all the way up the sky to the top. Bring the light all the way back your head, your neck, your chest. And now this beautiful shooting light is going down your stomach, your root chakra, all the way down your legs, your feet, your toes, and shooting all the way through the bottom of your feet, all the way down the root of the earth, down, 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 until you reach Mother Earth all the way at the bottom. And now visualize that light shooting all the way down your feet, all the way up your crown chakra, and just going up and down, shining all across inside of your body and cleansing, releasing, letting go of any anxiety, any heaviness, and continue feeling your body feeling lighter, brighter, joyful. You may begin to feel tingles in the bottom of your feet or your hands, or maybe even your lips. If you don't, that's totally fine. If you do, that means you are just cleansing, and it's a beautiful way that your body is feeling that energy. Now I want you to think of one word for this week. What is that one word for you that makes you feel connected, loved, supported, and guided? What's the first word that came to your head? It could be trust, it could be love, it could be surrender, it could be fun, playful, joyful. What is that one word that you want to use to anchor yourself? That one word that would make you feel protected and guided and supported through any changes that you might be going through. Really connect to that word and feel the vibration and that energy of that word all through your body, almost intertwining with that beautiful light that you felt earlier and that you saw earlier. How would you show up the rest of this week with that word being your anchor, your northern star, your guide? Who would you be? What would you do? How would you dress? How would you behave? Now feeling that energy and that inspiration and that motivation behind that word, I want you to gently come back to the space that you're in. Maybe through the noises around you, or the scent in the room, or the air blowing in your face. Whatever you feel in that room, gently come back to the room where you're at. Fill that room, your apartment, your home, your office, your car, wherever you might be, just fill it with that beautiful energy that you felt. Maybe you can imagine a color as a way to fill the room and that space with that beautiful energy. Continue visualizing that color, and now I want you to imagine your community, your friends, your family, your neighborhood where you live, and just spread that beautiful, contagious, energizing energy all around your community. Send that beautiful energy to your friends, to your coworker, to your manager, to the place where you work, and just send it out. And really feel everybody receiving that beautiful healing energy. And as a final step, I want you to visualize this beautiful earth. Visualize you're looking at the earth from the outside and you're sending that beautiful energy all around the earth, the different continents, all the oceans, the rivers, the water, the different countries. And just visualize that beautiful, healing, loving energy going all around the earth. Imagine this beautiful children and people receiving this beautiful energy that you're sending, and they're smiling and they're joyful. They have beautiful open arms as they feel this energy that you are sending to each and every one of them. Now I want you to grab your two arms and just hug yourself. I know it may sound a little silly, but just love yourself and really feel that energy as you're hugging and you're loving yourself and bringing that beautiful energy right back to you. Continue gently breathing, and now bring one hand on your heart and feel your heartbeat. Your heart that's never abandoned you, it's never left you. It's always been there for you, loving you, supporting you, guiding you, showing you the best way for you. And with that beautiful thought, I want you to take a deep breath. Inhale all the way in. Hold it for 4 seconds. And exhale all the way out. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Hello, my beautiful friends. How was that for you? Oh my gosh, I almost got teary-eyed. That was so amazing. I felt such beautiful energy in this place, in this space together. Thank you guys so very much for joining, for being a part of this, for sharing your energy. If you have any questions or thoughts, just send me a DM. Find me on Facebook or Instagram. I will post this video. I have all my Zen Mondays video on my YouTube channel, so you can just look me up, Stephanie Verschow. And come back next Monday for a brand new Zen Mondays ad. Actually, I might be traveling next Monday, so I will let you guys know. I know I'm traveling back. I'll let you guys know when it's gonna be, but for sure stay tuned for a brand new Zen Mondays next week. If you have any questions, reach out. Go to my website, stephanievershow.com. I hope you guys have the best week ever. Mwah. I love you very much. Have a great week. Spread your joy. Follow your joy always and in all ways. Have a good one, my friends. I will talk to you soon. Take care.